What's going on, Spitfires? Welcome back to another episode of the Spitfire Podcast. I'm your host, Lauren Lemunyon, the Spitfire Coach, coming to you from a snowy Denver. I was not prepared for this. It's November and there's snow on the ground, and obviously winter is coming, but I'm in denial fully. Anyway, I want to talk to you today about a topic that came up recently with a new client. And it is a theme that I don't know why I haven't talked about it before, because it's super important. And we might be talking about semantics and words and definitions, but I think words matter, and how you speak to yourself and describe things. It's super important, because there you get clarity and you can redefine and reframe with what you actually want to create. So I was talking to a client, and she started talking about pressure, feeling this pressure, self-created pressure, pressure from the outside. And I asked her, I said, so tell me where, if we're looking at 0 to 100% about that pressure, where do you want it to be? And without even realizing it, she converted pressure into intensity. And it went from being this emotional, like, oh, it's so hard to feel the pressure. Like, I don't want the pressure, to, but I do want the intensity. I like the intensity. I don't want to lose the intensity, because who am I without intensity? How do I get things done without intensity? And I realized, oh my God, we have this crowded definition, this layered, interwoven, tangled up mess that interchanges pressure and intensity. And so I want to just take a couple minutes to give you more insight and clarity on how you're describing it and feeling about it, and then what we can actually convert it into to provide some structure and some inspiration for you to move forward. So when I think about pressure, it's things that are coming from the outside. Now, people say, but I put the pressure on myself. Okay, so what is that really about? It's a comparison from who you think you should be and who you are now. So this ideal image of the perfect person that just gets everything done and has a smile on their face and showers every day and brushes their teeth and puts makeup on. Yeah, that's not me every day. Confession. But it's this pressure on who you think you should be, where you should be in your career, where you should be in your life. You know, if it's having kids, if it's getting married, if it's having money in the bank, if it's owning a house, if it's traveling, all of these things compounded turn into this unattainable image that we compare ourselves to. And so there's this pressure, this judgment, that's what it can be interchanged with, judgment, pressure that you put on yourself, that you have convinced yourself is motivating you to grind it out, to hustle, when in reality, it's limiting your options, it's limiting your prospects, and it is pushing you into this small confined box. It's not looking at options of what you can be. And so every day you're waking up and looking at this image on the horizon, and then you're looking at, but I haven't gotten there. I'm so far away, rather than looking at, here's where I've come to, here's where I have moved forward. So we've talked about pressure. What's the deal with intensity? Well, when I think about intensity, I think about passion. I think about energy. I think about like how much you're going to like express out. And if you haven't taken the Spitfire leadership assessment, it's at spitfirecoach.com. You can see how you're most motivated, either expressing outwardly or inwardly, or how you're activated on an inward or outward basis. And this will give you some insights on where we may need to dial it up or back. Meaning, not everything needs to be like a fire hose blaze of fire. It could just be like, hey, I'm going to light up some insight here. So intensity comes from us. It's internally generated. It's things that we want to create. It's who we are. It's our passion. It's our purpose. And so when we look at those two, if we are misinterpreting pressure for things that are coming from us, we're actually being reactive to it. So we're saying, I need the pressure in order to have intensity. So it becomes this like codependent link, versus you saying, well, where does my intensity really come from? And where do I want it to come from? And that's where we start to see those gems and those light bulb moments of, you know what? I get more intense when I'm passionate about social causes, when I'm passionate about collaborating or innovating or solving problems. But if it's about something else, about what society expects from you, your parents, your neighbor, your partner, your friends, whether it's true or not, it is not coming from you. It's coming from an external expectation. And so if we don't catch that, it then gets tangled up into a reactive, non-sustainable mode. Okay. So what we're seeking out is maintenance, sustainability, renewable resources, and that comes from us. So think about, do you really need all that pressure? And what do you really want to get intense about, to feel passionate about? Because the opportunity is there. You can dial it back when you realize I'm enough. I'm pretty freaking awesome. I'm here to do good work, and I'm doing the best I can with what I have. It's very simple. But when our ego gets wrapped into it, when we get all those messages from outside of us and we reinterpret it like it's for us, when in reality it's not, that's where we get tripped up. So the opportunity is to go silent and to just listen, to ask yourself questions about, what do I want to feel intense and passionate about? And where have I been lying to myself about that pressure? It's not necessary, and you can let it off whenever you want. You don't have to blow up. You don't have to go release some steam. You can decide that the pressure is not for you anymore. So I hope this was helpful. If you want to hear other topics, let me know. Lauren@spitfirecoach.com. Make sure you subscribe, tell a friend, pass it along, and y'all keep being awesome.